Chineze Moye joins us now. It's good to have him join us today. Let me say Merry Christmas. It's the first time we're saying.
Merry Christmas.
Compliments.
Compliments of the season, rather.
Yeah. Christmas is gone.
Yes, compliments of the season.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Nice to have you join us.
Always a pleasure.
You let us talk with the coach of Rangers early on, and the season is about to start. What are your expectations, basically?
Oh, well, from what happened last season, definitely we should expect some improvements, like he said. And we saw the previous season they had won the league and the fiasco, everything that happened with the Mama and everything going on. So right now, I think I only expect an upward trajectory for Rangers because they would want to compete now. Davidson Owumi and everybody trying to put the house in order. So I'm expecting good things from Rangers this coming season.
Chineze, let me just quickly get back to you. And I guess that's what Tayo wanted to say. Clubs, they get into the MPFL and 70%, most times when those teams come in, 70%, you look at it, most of the time, they go back down.
Well, for me, personally, China said something about the fact that clubs come in with they try self-deceit and whatever. Well, if you look at the league and if you look at the pattern, you might not want to call it that because at the end of the day, we talk about how competitive our league is. And you now see, sometimes you see the difference between the team that wins the league and a team fighting for relegation. The difference in points is really not that much a lot of the times, So you actually see that this league is very competitive. So maybe a run of games here and there, it can put you somewhere else. And if you have a bad run of games, you can find yourself down. So it's understandable when teams come in and they believe that, you know what, we might be able to do this. But then they now get into it's just more than football being played on the pitch. We've talked about it. Traveling. Logistics and a whole lot of things. So maybe by the time it gets, it weighs them down. These new teams that just come in and they do not really expect things like this, and it begins to happen to them. Sometimes you see them. That's why at during the first phase of the league, like the first half of the season, they're doing well. Then all of a sudden, things start coming to them right now. So I understand why clubs will come in and have that ambition because, like I said, the difference, if you look at the points, look at going back 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons, the difference between the winners and the guys that are fighting relegation is not that much. I think it's about what United and City have between them. So that shows you how competitive it is. So you can understand why teams will come in and say, you know what, we can actually make a push and make a run for this.
Okay. All right. Let's go talk about save some thought for the Omigos. Sacrificing for the nation. Whichever way you want to say it. And a lot has been put into that team to ensure, even though the coaches have to deal with players leaving. And but what can you say about the preparation so far? I think it's been good.
It's been good, but like you said, I don't envy these coaches because your plans get turned around every time. You're looking at certain players played, and all of a sudden this one is leaving the country. This is happening here. So clubs are trying to say we need our players because of the league starts very soon. So the coaches just have to do the best with what they have. Thank God the pool is large because we'll have 20 clubs in the league, and you have a large pool of talent to select from. So that shouldn't be an excuse. But the thing is, when it comes to there's a certain routine, there's a certain pattern, there's a certain regime, and things that you guys have developed over time. And if sometimes you remove 1 or 2 pieces, it becomes really troublesome for the coach, and so I can understand how they feel about this. But the bottom line is they're preparing for a tournament. It's been good so far. They've played in Super 6, because that's basically the only preparation they can have before going for this competition. So we just wish them the best going into the tournament.
Wish them the best. January 15th against Rwanda. You hear that fixture and you think, okay, Nigeria should win that one easily.
It's
not that way.
This competition, I don't think they are favorites in this competition because it's just like the continental competitions. You can come up against anybody, and because sometimes this so-called smaller teams, the thing is that most of them, their players in the national team, they are all home-based. So basically you're sort of playing a de facto national team, and we're using our own just home-based players. So it can be very tricky, and we shouldn't like that. I don't think there will be any easy games in the competition.